We would like to welcome you to the 2024-2025 Managing Employer Requalification Training. We would like to introduce to you your Agency with Choice coordinators. My name is Jordan Achinsky, and I have individuals with the last name starting with A through J.
And I'm Heather Mullen. I have the individuals with the last name beginning with K through Z.
The first topic we are going to talk about is time punches and eSystem. Managing employers' role in eSystem. As a managing employer, you will use the eSystem website to accomplish a few different things. To approve every punch entered by your SSP, approve your SSP's time weekly. Final approvals should be completed no later than the 3rd of the month following the service. To manually enter a missed punch from your SSP, only when 100% necessary. To adjust an existing punch from your SSP, including correcting the time in, time out, and location. To review your SSP's service notes associated with the punch. If needed, you should ask your service professional to make changes before approving punches. To complete a monthly managing employer progress note. This step needs to be completed before approvals can be made on the new month. To review utilization reports to ensure you are not exceeding frequency and duration set within the ISP. Time punches and EVV. As you are approving your SSP's time, review their service notes thoroughly to ensure that the content is reflecting the goals and outcomes of the individual's ISP. Managing employers can edit a punch such as service code, address, time, and date. A manual punch is only to be done if an SSP makes an error, such as forgets to punch in or out, selected wrong service, system outage. It is not to serve as a way to punch in and out as your SSPs on a regular basis. ODP monitors manual punches, so edits are not to be made unless absolutely necessary. It is the SSP's responsibility to log in their own time at the beginning and end of their shift with EVV correctly. You are there to edit if a mistake is made. The SSP's punch in and out time needs to be as close as possible to their scheduled work time. For example, if they are scheduled 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., then they need to be clocking in on the EVV app at 9 a.m. and clocking out at 2 p.m. If the SSP goes over the scheduled time, more units are being used, which affects the participant's budget. This is very important since minutes add up and can have long-term effects on the individual's budget. As you are approving each punch, ensure you are looking at everything on the screen to be sure it is 100% correct before you sign off on it. Frequency and duration still needs to be understood and followed as listed in the ISP. Remember, our weeks run Sunday to Saturday, even if the specific week spans between 2 months. Please be reviewing your SSP's hours in eSystem under time cards. If you need instructions or have questions on how to do something in eSystem, please contact your AWC coordinator. If you are having a technical issue with eSystem, please contact IT. Their information is located on our contact slide. The next section we are going to talk about is managing employers' monthly progress notes. Notice the blue arrow. This is where you're going to list all ISP goals. The goals can be found in the back of an individual's ISP under the outcome statements. You will list all of the participants' goals here. Once you have done that once, You can copy related outcome statement from month to month. Notice the yellow arrow. Down at the bottom where it says describe services provided by the pink arrow is where you are going to type what all of the SSPs worked on with the participant during the month. Monthly Managing Employer Progress Note. Be sure you are selecting the correct month when entering a progress note. A progress note is required to be completed each month. If you do not complete a progress note, an alert will pop up in eSystem prompting you to complete it before you can approve time for the current month. If the managing employer needs assistance completing these progress notes, please contact your AWC coordinator assigned to your case. This information is located on the contact sheet in the take-home packet. Next, we are going to talk about the frequency and duration and an ISP. The frequency and duration is found in the Outcome Action Plan. In the back of the ISP, you will find the frequency and duration towards the bottom of the Outcome Action Plan by the red arrow. This is where it'll say how many hours per week or per month that an individual can have with AWC. You are not to exceed these hours without prior approval from the supports coordinator or AWC coordinator. This is an example of an emergency request. This is for emergency requests only and should be filled out by the supports coordinator. If you have an emergency request where you need to go over your hours, please contact your supports coordinator for prior approval before going over your hours. Emergency requests. Reach out to your supports coordinator to complete an emergency request. The SD is the first point of contact in this process, as they need to assess the participant's budget. Emergency requests are to be utilized for emergency situations or when additional hours are needed above and beyond the frequency and duration listed in the ISP. For example, if you only have limited SSP workers, an unplanned hospitalization, a death in the family, or the absence of a parent. An emergency request form will need to be completed before an SSP goes over their 28 hours per week. In true emergency situations, this process can be expedited. In review of the frequency and duration, you are only permitted to schedule your SSPs to work the amount of hours approved in the ISP. This is not to be confused with a 28-hour ANR limit. Weekly frequency and duration hours are totaled Sunday through Saturday. Please pay extra attention on split weeks when a week crosses over into another month. Example, last week of March goes into April. This counts as 1 week in the frequency and duration. The frequency and duration is reviewed at every annual meeting. The frequency and duration training form will be completed following each ISP meeting and sent out to managing employers for you to review with all SSPs. ISP training forms. This form needs to be signed by the managing employer and SSPs after each annual ISP and before any new SSP begins working with your participant. If your loved one's ISP is coming up, please don't forget to invite your AWC coordinator, as we are also a part of your team.
In this section, we're going to be reviewing your reports and the rate ranges for your SSPs. Your waiver allotment sheet and your waiver service rendered report are now located in eSystem. They are no longer mailed to you. To access these forms, log into eSystem. On the left-hand side taskbar, you will see Reports. After clicking on Reports, A new web page will open up reflecting your monthly utilization. Click the download button next to the report you wish to download and view. These forms are automatically uploaded into your reports after the 15th of each month following services. It is recommended that you review these reports with your supports coordinator during your monitoring sessions. Please look at these forms once a month at minimum to ensure that you are following the frequency and duration set forth by the ISP. It is your responsibility as the managing employer to oversee that your SSP's work schedule as it fits into your loved one's budget. On the waiver allotment sheet example below, this is just going to be a quick review. This is going to have listed your participant's name. It's going to have listed the codes that are approved through Agency with Choice that are located in your ISP budget. You will see that it will show how much total you are allotted, how much you've used so far within the fiscal year, and how much funding you have left. Down below, it will show each product code and the breakout by month as to how much was used. If you have any questions on reading this, please give us a call, or you can also review with your supports coordinator during your monitoring sessions. The second report that you will receive each month under reports is the waiver service rendered. This will show you by unit and by code what your SSPs have used for the month and what the totals are. As the managing employer, you are responsible to set your SSP wage. For example, in-home and community supports can be anywhere between $9.66 to $22.81 per hour. Also as an example for respite, whether it be day respite or minute respite, those ranges are anywhere between $9.66 to $15.32 per hour. If your SSP's car information becomes expired, the clocking in capability will be locked out in eSystem, and they will not be authorized to provide services until the necessary documentation is received, reviewed, and verified. Your SSPs get a notification pop-up every time they log into their EVV 30 days prior to the credential expiring. This serves as a reminder, so we get the credential before the expiration date. If your SSP cannot clock in and does not know why, please call your Agency with Choice coordinator for further instruction. Most times there's a back-end process in place that purposely locks out access until the item is discussed or entered on the back end. Do not just manually enter in their time. SSPs are mandated reporters. They are required to report any incident that occurs while they're working with a participant. Incidents may encompass abuse, neglect, fraud, or anything involving emergency personnel, such as the fire department, police, or a hospital emergency room, while the SSP is on the clock. A call needs to be made to speak directly with Agency with Choice staff within 24 hours of the incident occurring. Detailed information is located in the resource packet. Please do not report the incident in your note and think that that is successfully fulfilling your reporting duty. The notes are looked at by Agency with Choice staff weeks after they are written, not the same day that you enter them. Your Agency with Choice staff needs a call to be spoken with directly within 24 hours within the details of the situation. Participants do have the right to medication assistance. SSPs are required to be annually trained at the ISP meeting by the managing employer and have signed documentation of their training. If an SSP has an individual out in the community and has their personal possession on them and it becomes lost, damaged, or stolen, it is the SSP's responsibility for repair or replacement. The Agency with Choice Quality Management Plan reflects our internal goals and standards for the year. We want to make sure that you are satisfied with the program, and we will send out yearly surveys every October. Requalification trainings are a state requirement for both managing employers and SSPs to be requalified yearly to remain within the program. We have already gone over the frequency and duration in the previous slides, as well as the incident management. A few yearly reminders. When purchases are approved by your supports coordinator in county, contact your Agency with Choice coordinator to have those placed. When requesting purchases, please include all the information needed for the Agency with Choice coordinator to successfully order the item. Purchases must be approved in the ISP before a purchase can be successfully made. Once an adaptation has been approved by your supports coordinator and county, the chosen vendor must be qualified by Agency with Choice before the work begins. SSP clearances are active 5 years from the application date. Your SSPs get a 30-day notification in the EVV system when their clearances are coming due. Sometimes there can take 30 days for results to be received. SSPs cannot render services if their clearances are expired. If you provide transportation mile and your clearances are coming due, your Agency with Choice coordinator will contact you. There are also a tip sheet available in the resource packet. Life Course Tools information is in your resource packet as well. Here, we will be sending out a separate email for DocuSign. DocuSign is a user-friendly format for you to fill out the following 8 forms that are required for your requalification. Please be on the lookout and have that completed as soon as possible, but no later than May 13th. As the managing employer, Agency with Choice just wanted to say thank you. If the world had more people like you, it would be a better place. You do make a difference. Just to review our contact information. Jordan is your coordinator that handles the participants with the last name A through J. And Heather handles the participants with the last name beginning with K through Z. Our senior manager is Kelly Slayer. She can be contacted 24/7 with any emergencies such as an incident. Her contact number is 724-431-3681. Jody takes care of our billing and payroll, and she may reach out to you with any questions that she may have. ATech is our IT department and is available if you have trouble getting into your email or downloading the EVV app. Their phone number is 724-431-3704. Our regular office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. However, we do have abbreviated work schedules depending upon the needs of the week. We do have a drop box located to the right of the front door at 127 South Main Street in Butler. The drop box is available 24/7. Our fax number is 431-1091. Anytime you are faxing, either please put that attention to agency with choice, or you can put Heather or Jordan on it to make sure that it gets to us specifically. Thank you and have a great day.